What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. So, thank you for anybody, first off, who watched my last video, gave it a thumbs up, liked it, favorited it, whatever. I'd like to especially thank anybody who commented, because I read all my comments in my videos, and those are the ways that I feel like definitely help me connect with you guys the most. And furthermore, I like to thank you guys for like the words of encouragement. Like a lot of people who encourage me to make this video. And it's always one thing to think that you're doing a good job with your channel, to think that people, you know, like your videos. You might determine that by the amount of views you get or the amount of subscribers you get. But there's another thing when you hear people come out and say, "Oh, we love your videos, and we really like to see your take on this or that, or you know, so on and so forth, what your opinion is." And that makes me feel really good. Like it makes me feel like I just had one of those sappy moments in Naruto where he saves a village or something, and at the end there's like that emotional moment where somebody says something and Naruto's like he's rubbing his eyes trying not to cry and stuff like that. I felt like I just had one of those moments. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Satoshi Kato's list that is supposedly 99 or whatever arbitrary number you want to throw in there confirmed. We'll still have to wait, of course. Ban BRIONAC and Future Fusion. Again, I'm completely fine with Future Fusion. It's an auto win card. It's like basically the new painful choice for dragons. BRIONAC, I'm not really fine with. I mean, there are definitely more broken cards that they could have hit, like BLS would have been a prime contender, or Monster Reborn would have been a good candidate. I just look at BRIONAC and I think it just really doesn't affect the game that much right now. I mean, yes, there are some dumb loopy plays you can do with Infernity and stuff like that, but its plays are pretty far and in between. Limited to one: INZEKTOR, DRAGONFLY, INZEKTOR, HORNET, Ultimate Offering, Red Eyes Metal Darkness Dragon, TSUKUYOMI, Chaos Sorcerer, GISHKI, KRAKKEN, SPORE, ZENMIGHTY. Wind-up carrier ZENMIGHTY. I like to say the whole names. The two INZEKTOR hits I think are a little much. They could have been just fine with DRAGONFLY. Like, I think that the problem is going forward playing INZEKTORs, like, the problem with the deck to begin with was always consistency. Like, nobody ever questioned INZEKTOR's powers. I said this multiple times in the format. As far as power goes, INZEKTOR's is by far over the top and by far ahead of everything else. Maybe not that far ahead of Chaos Dragons, but consistency was always an issue. Like, you'd have Dragonfly but no Hornet. You'd have Hornet but no Dragonfly. You'd have Hornet and Dragonfly but you'd have no backer removal. Like, now with just one Hornet, it's going to be pretty difficult to get the deck to run consistently, especially with just one Dragonfly. I mean, you're looking at, if your Dragonfly gets removed or something like that, I mean, you basically lose probably 25% chance of winning. And if your Hornet gets removed, I mean, it's really just game over. So I think that INZEKTORs can still be tier 2. They'll probably have to run multiple Call of the Haunted and stuff to make sure that they can constantly have access to their Dragonfly. But consistency has always been the issue, and this really does hurt the deck, maybe a little too much. Ultimate Offering and Red Eyes were obvious picks. Ultimate Offering is just, again, it's a busted card. TSUKUYOMI, thank goodness. The card is not that great anymore. It was only great when you constantly could put Thousand Eyes Restrict face down. Chaos Sorcerer is one I completely agree with. Like, Chaos Sorcerer is not a balanced card. The card only looks balanced because you inherently compare it to Blacklusted Soldier, which, you know, it's basically a weaker version, so of course you're going to compare it to. I do too. So the card only looks, you know, not derpy because it's in a format where everything is pretty much overpowered and everything's measured by Rescue Rabbit, Tour Guide, and BLS in terms of brokenness. The GISHKI KRAKKEN, it's good to see that they're being proactive. I think that they looked at the OCG and they said, okay, this can do 3 card loops, and we're looking at what just won American Nationals. We're looking at windups. We're looking at the end of last format when windups took, I think, 2 top spots at YCS Atlanta. I'm not really sure if players want to go through that again. They hit ZENMIGHTY, but they should have hit Hunter. I mean, you still have pretty cool combos. I think with Tour Bush, you can still loop 2 cards out of your opponent's hand. If I'm not mistaken, if you go Wind Up, Magician, and Shark, you can still hit 2 or 3 cards. Obviously, Avarice would give you more, but, you know, I'm fairly okay with that. And then Spore coming back. Thank goodness. Plants are actually getting some, I mean, they might actually be quite playable. Semi-limited Tour Guide definitely needed to happen. I think people need to realize, as far as the TCG goes, the 2 biggest problem cards over the last entire year were basically Tour Guide and Tengu. Like, they both should have went to 2 after 1 format, and I think that you'll see a lot of good that'll come from this. Also semi-limited. Mirror Force. Let's just go over the whole list. Mirror Force, Reasoning, A Hero Lives, HIERATIC, Seal of Convocation, Pot of Duality, Emergency Call, Blackwing Kalute, Rescue Rabbit, Debris Dragon, and Earth of Mystery. I probably like the semi-limits on this list the most. A lot of cards like Mirror Force, Kalute, Debris Dragon, like they just didn't need to be restricted. I mean, I just don't understand it. In Agent of Mystery Earth, like they're making a lot of decks that were really killed prematurely and unjustified, you know, like they're giving them some strength back. I mean, I would prefer Whirlwind, but Kalute is definitely something that I will take. Agents, Plants, Blackwings, they're all going to be, you know, like relevant again. I mean, maybe not relevant to where they were before, but like they're definitely playable. I mean, you could easily say that these decks are tier 2. I mean, why is Debris Dragon still limited? I mean, you're giving Plants Debris Dragon, another copy of Debris Dragon plus Spore. I mean, that's legitimate enough to where you might be able to make a tier 2 deck. You might have to use like Titanium and stuff, but it's starting to be, you know, good. I question Reasoning. It just seems kind of random, and I don't know. That seems a little... Reasoning is a scary card. I remember in the Dad Return format when Six Samurai used to use this because everything in their deck was all crazy levels, and they'd be like Reasoning, and if they freaking got Great Shogun Sheen out, they basically won. I don't think that'll happen, but that's kind of crazy. Mirror Force definitely was needed. Like, my thing on Mirror Force is Torrential Tribute is a much better card, and you have to go out to the boonies to find anybody who doesn't run Torrential, but you have to also go out to them same boonies to find anybody right now that runs Mirror Force. I think Mirror Force definitely needs to be at the same exact amount that TT is at, because TT is so much better than Mirror Force by comparison. They're pretty similar cards. Emergency Call did not hurt Heroes at all. Heroes are still going to be a freaking amazing deck. Rescue Rabbit, definitely the right number. I don't think the deck should die. Rescue Rabbit and Tour Guide both going to 2. Hurts Dino Rabbit's consistency. It doesn't hurt the power. It's like it's still gonna have those really powerful plays. Like the deck can still, there's still gonna be times where it goes Dino Rat or it goes Rescue Rabbit, and then the next turn it just has Tour Guide and wins. But it's not gonna happen that often. In fact, turn 1 rabbits are not gonna happen nearly as often. You know what I mean? To 3, Necro Gardener, Marshmallow, Emergency Teleport, Destiny Draw, Swords of Revealing Light, Magic Cylinder, and Level Limit Area B. A lot of just stall cards, Marshmallow, stuff that really didn't affect the game. Interesting thing is Necro Gardener. People need to realize Necro Gardener's at 3. I think Lumina's at 2. Judgment Dragon's at 3. Like, Lightsworn are almost at full strength. The only thing that they are really missing, to be completely honest, the only thing that the deck is missing is, you know, like not being able to run 3 Honest and not being able to have 3 Charge. I mean, the deck is pretty close to what it was when it was the best deck of the format. Like, I don't think people really realize that Lightsworn with 3 Necro Gardeners plus an Honest, I mean, they're almost back to Angors. They're almost back to the point where you couldn't really attack them like Teledad format or the Lightsworn format. Like, you couldn't really attack Lightsworn because they had 3 Necros and 3 Honest. Everything they basically, you threw at them as far as monster to monster combat just basically bounced off. They were like Honest, Necro Gardener. Like, I look at Lightsworn and I think this is the dark horse deck of the format right now. Now, I really, really love this list, not just because of like the limits that they did and the bans. The bans were okay. It was because, like I said in the other video, the stuff that they took off. Plants are now playable. Agents are now playable. Blackwings are now playable again. You've got 3 more decks. Destiny Hero decks can actually breathe now that Destiny draw. So I look at 3 cards on this list. I look at Reasoning, Destiny Draw, and Earth, and I think those could be huge impacts to our meta that I'm not sure how. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if they will ultimately pan out. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works. I would just say off the top of my head, if I wanted to say best deck, I would say right now it's a tie between Heroes and Rabbit. Rabbit is still going to be flat out amazing. I mean, they're probably just going to take those copies of Rabbit and Tour Guide and throw in cards like Grand Mole or just another decent card like maybe Gale, Spirit Reaper, just another good standalone monster. Heroes didn't really get hurt at all. Like, 2 A Hero Lives is still perfectly fine for the deck, and E-Call going to 2 really didn't hurt the deck at all. So, tell me what you guys think. Again, I think that this has the potential to be one of the best formats we've had in years. It's not too aggressive, but it's not like a set 5 back row format. So, let me know what you guys think.